Imagine losing yourself so completely in an activity that hours feel like minutes. This isn't just focus, it's flow, a psychological state where action and awareness merge. Picture a violinist lost in a performance, her fingers moving with a precision that bypasses conscious thought, or a surgeon in the middle of a complex procedure, each movement calibrated to a fraction of a millimeter. This is the flow state, a phenomenon where self-consciousness vanishes and time distorts. It's not mere concentration, it's complete absorption in the present moment. As psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi described it, the ego falls away. Time flies. Every action, movement, and thought follows inevitably from the previous one, like playing jazz. But flow isn't reserved for elite performers. It's a neurobiological and psychological experience that can be understood, induced, and cultivated. Over decades, research has mapped its neural underpinnings and transformative potential. The story of flow begins in post-World War Roman II Europe. A young Csikszentmihalyi, displaced by war, became fascinated with what made life worth living. After emigrating to the US, he studied artists, athletes, and musicians, people who engaged in activities offering no external reward yet compelled deep commitment. What he found was a paradox. They weren't motivated by money or fame, but by the quality of the experience itself. In his landmark 1975 study, he interviewed rock climbers, chess players, and surgeons. Across these domains, a consistent pattern emerged: effortless concentration, a merging of action and awareness, and an autotelic experience, one that is an end in itself. He named it flow, borrowing the metaphor of being carried by a current. Perhaps the most innovative contribution to flow research was the experience sampling method, or ESM. Developed by Csikszentmihalyi and colleagues at the University of Chicago in the 1980s, participants wore pagers that beeped at random intervals throughout the day. At each signal, they recorded their current activity, concentration level, and emotional state. This allowed researchers to capture flow in real time, not just from memory. The results were striking. People reported flow most often during work, sports, and hobbies, not while watching TV or relaxing. Flow wasn't rare. It was a common experience that people simply failed to recognize. The data showed that flow occurs when clear challenges are matched to our skills, creating a state of deep engagement. What happens in the brain during flow? One compelling explanation comes from the theory of transient hypofrontality, proposed by neuroscientist Arne Dietrich. According to this model, flow involves a temporary decrease in activity in the prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for self-reflection and planning. When the prefrontal cortex quiets, the inner critic falls silent. Self-consciousness diminishes, and the sense of time becomes distorted. This explains why expert performers feel their actions are automatic, unmediated by thought. Dietrich's research shows that flow occurs when the brain's explicit system is suppressed in favor of the implicit system, allowing for fluid, adaptive performance. It's not a loss of control, but a shift from conscious to automatic processing. Flow also triggers a cascade of neurochemical changes, with dopamine playing a central role. This neurotransmitter, linked to reward and motivation, surges during goal-directed tasks when challenges are perfectly matched to skills. A 1998 PET scan study by Cope and colleagues showed increased dopamine release during such activities. This dopamine surge reinforces the behavior, making flow intrinsically rewarding and motivating us to seek it again. Additionally, flow reduces activity in the default mode network, the brain network active during daydreaming and self-referential thought. A 2017 fMRI study by Ulrich and colleagues found that higher flow during a cognitive task corresponded with decreased DMN activation, reducing mental noise and self-evaluation. Flow isn't random, it has specific conditions. First, there must be clear goals and immediate feedback, whether from a chess opponent, a musical score, or a surgeon's incision. Second, the challenge must perfectly match your skill level, creating a sweet spot between boredom and anxiety. Too easy and you're bored, too hard and you're stressed. Third, the activity must require complete concentration, leaving no room for distractions. Finally, you need a sense of control over the task, even if outcomes are uncertain. These conditions are why flow often occurs in structured activities like sports, art, or work. By designing your environment to meet these criteria, you can increase your chances of entering the zone. Flow isn't just about peak performance. It has profound implications for mental health and well-being. Studies show that people who experience flow regularly report higher life satisfaction, lower stress, and greater resilience. In clinical settings, flow-based interventions are being used to treat depression and anxiety by redirecting attention away from rumination. Even in the workplace, fostering flow can boost creativity and job satisfaction. The key is to recognize that flow is accessible to everyone. Whether you're gardening, coding, or playing with your kids, you can cultivate this state by seeking challenges that stretch your skills and focusing fully on the present. Flow transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary experiences. Flow reminds us that the deepest joy comes not from passive consumption, but from active engagement. If you found this valuable, consider exploring your own flow triggers.